What's going on, guys? Welcome to Boost of Motorsports. Behind me is my Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat that we fully restored, and it has a fully built engine that we did here in the shop using all MMX internal components. So in the last video, we went out for the maiden voyage, drove this thing, but you guys heard the rear differential screaming. Oh man. So what we're gonna do right now is, rather than this thing sit here after we spent all this time and hard work building it and having to just, look at it, what I'm gonna do right now is, since that differential has to come out and it's gonna have to get rebuilt, I'm just gonna cut straight to the chase. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. I wanna drain the fluid in it while it's easily accessible and hanging. We'll drain the fluid out of it, see how bad it is. It's probably gonna be nasty based on that gear noise. It's probably gonna be a bunch of metallic in there. It sounds like this thing has way too much backlash, and I'll show you guys that in a second. And maybe it just didn't get set up correctly. I have no idea, but either way, that fluid is probably gonna be gross. That ring and pinion set is probably fried, because once you get gear noise like that and you set it up that loose, it's just gonna kill the gears and it's going to whine forever. But on the other side of our destroyer gray Dakota, which we'll be getting to, I still have my old rear cradle. So what I'm gonna do just for now, it's not ideal, we're not gonna be at the track with this necessarily, but at least so we can drive it around, get some more break-in miles, get some more revisions on it. We're gonna go ahead and throw this in. So it's gonna be a little bit of work for sure, but I'm hoping I can do this without the whole cradle being dropped. It looks like I can. I haven't tackled this. I don't know if other people have. There's a bolt that goes straight up here, there, and then these two go in from the back. You can actually get a wrench in from the bottom right here. It's gonna be kind of fun, because I think we can go this way with it and then drop it out the bottom. And I'm hoping as we go down, our axles will be able to get manipulated enough that we can pop them out of each side one at a time without taking them out of our spindles. So that's my plan. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I can, because I kind of messed with some of this stuff before when we had to replace this axle. So that's my game plan. But first things first, let's go ahead. I've got a clear container over there that I actually got over here, and I want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to capture the fluid in this clear container so we can look at it. I wiped it all out, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Ooh, it's already looking pretty dirty. Hopefully we can capture this here. All right, let me put the camera down or try to hang it somehow. Yeah, this is gonna be nasty looking. Oh yeah. Look at all that metal. It's not a magnetic drain, so we can't see a whole lot, but it is all metal, dude. You can see it. Look at all the chunks flowing out of it. Ooh, look at those chunks. Ooh, there's a nice chunk. All right, well, I pretty much called it. Tons of metal in that. So what I'm gonna do is, unfortunately, have to pull the exhaust again. I'm gonna use my transmission jack to hold the back portion of the exhaust as I lower it, and hopefully I can get this off as a one-man show. It is pretty awkward to take off by yourself, but I'll figure it out. Or maybe I'll hold the front, actually. I think that's how I did it last time. I think I put this guy underneath here where the little X-pipe deal is. And then I think I lifted it down myself. So I'm gonna get that out, then I can get these bolts out. Hopefully we can, and then we'll use the transmission jack again to lower this down here, and hopefully I can pop these axles out. All right, well, she is out. I actually forgot the fact too, since they're aftermarket axles, I can actually take off the axle from the spline assembly here. So I made it a little bit easier to get that out. I just knocked one of them off. Diff is on the ground now, so we are good there. The camera died halfway through, so that's why you guys didn't see the last part of the footage of me lowering it. But lowered it down with the transmission jack, and then I just hand bombed it from there to there. So I've got the cradle over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing. Gonna take out the bolts, pop these axles out. These ones I think are a little bit more flexible. They're able to, because I was able to put this in here without removing the axle from either side. And then we'll lift the cradle up off this diff, and then same deal, put that back in there. So let me get to it. All right, you guys, well, it is back in. So check the fluid, we're still good. I thought it would be similar to a solid axle where if you took out the axles that it would puke fluid out, but surprisingly it didn't drop any fluid, which was nice. And then checked the fluid level. You can actually see the fluid level is just slightly lower than the axles. I guess since it doesn't have to oil, like on a solid axle, it doesn't have to oil the outside bearing. It just, they keep it just below. So anyways, she's back in here. So we are back in business and we can get back into our test driving and get onto E85. All right, guys, she's back together. We're gonna go for a little rip. I gotta get a new one of these little seals. This thing is all ripped, a little seal for the hood there. But she's back together, nothing crazy. We got a new revision from the tuner, so just gonna kind of cruise around. Hopefully we don't have any gear noise now that we put the stock differential back there. And yeah, we'll cruise around, try to burn off more of this 93 so we can get some E85 in there. All right, here we go. Everything's looking good. She's not too mad about, well, she already was pissed about tired pressure sensors, but intercooler temps 51, ambience 79 outside, so chiller is working good. Coolant temp, it's just coming up 161, and we're doing some data logging, but let's go ahead and go for a little cruise. All right, guys, well, no more gear whine as suspected. 44 degrees on our intercooler temps. Like I said, still showing about 80 degrees outside, or I guess you can see it up there in the top corner. But driving good. Tomorrow, I don't know if I'll put it all into one video, but I'm actually scheduled tomorrow at 2 o'clock in Tampa to go and get an alignment for this thing. Even though it drives pretty good, I mean, I can't align it with tape measures as good as a four-wheel alignment. Plus, we'll be able to align the rear because there's all sorts of camber, caster, all those kind of adjustments that we have. So, but yeah, like I said, just trying to burn up this tank. We've got about a quarter of a tank left. Try to get rid of this, and then we can get some E85 in it. So the tuner does have this boost limited. So because we have such aggressive pulleys on it, they've actually opened the bypass valve to bleed some of the boost off because it's just too much for 93. It would probably detonate if we were to send it with this much boost on 93. So yeah, we're boost limited, but it's not like we're going crazy right now. Just kind of getting some break-in miles and making sure everything's functioning as it should be. Ooh, all right, just finished dropping off some of your guys' orders from Shop Boosted at USPS. Back on the road, see our boy Tony over at AutoZone. We got to get a map sensor for the Z06. We're getting a 2-bar map sensor so that we can hopefully get that thing tuned, and then we can rip on that one too. Another cammed car we can rip on. All right, well, our gas light finally came on, so at least that happened. But yeah, everything's still working good. It's still mad that, and I don't know why, but it's showing 26, 27, I know that's our back tire pressure. I know that's not the front. So, not sure why it's thinking that the back tires are the front tires. Maybe it's mad because it can't see all four and it just is assuming those are the fronts. But, yeah. So far, so good. Everything's working good, you guys. Just kind of cruising around, burning up some gas. Nothing too crazy. This thing sounds amazing, though. Now you guys can actually hear the blower and everything instead of the rear end. You can hear the actual supercharger. This guy in front is trying to like get down or something. I don't know what he's doing. All right, we pretty much ran this tank out. I don't want to go too low with these pumps, but we're like less than an eighth, so below a quarter. So we're over here, Race Tech. Get some E85. Every single pump has E. Too good, you guys, and this is right by where we're at. So let's see what the price is for E85. $289. Let's get some. All right, so we are riding right now to the PCM our E85 tune. We got E85 going in the tank right now. We are switching over, you guys. This thing is too much fun. All right, so now we are on E85, doing some logging, do a little cruising. So she is a little grumpy just because we're kind of on a mix of E85 and regular fuel, but she's running. So kind of have to run this through, and then that way we can top up again with the E85, but definitely not 100% E85 in the tank because didn't want to run them too low. I think I fit in like 16. I gotta double check my receipt. We'll check in a second, but we fit like 16 gallons, I think, of fuel. So the tank is, I think, 18.5 gallons is full empty. So it might have had a gallon or two of 93 still in it, but she's still running. But we'll get this back. We'll send a log back to the tuner, make sure everything is good, and I'm sure there'll be some fine tweaks and whatnot, but like I said, we do have to run this tank through as well. Gotta give her a tiny bit of sauce, though. This thing's so much fun, you guys. The guy in the TSX is doing a little thing.
Nice.
Guy in TSX wanted some. Alright, so we're back, you guys. So air fuel ratios look pretty decent, but I'm sure there's gonna be some fine adjustment. Intercooler temps, look at that. We just were ripping around a little bit, 53 degrees, and we're parked. Everything's looking super happy, sounding good. Oh, it's one thing I forgot to ask my buddy Tony at AutoZone was for a belt. I kind of want to get one of those green belts on here because the one that's on here is kind of older and it's a little bit squeaky when you first start it. Oil pressure looks good. Oil temp still decent. Transmission temp's good. Coolant temp 185. Boys, this thing is ripping. We good. No check engine lights, no anything lights. Pretty decent. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see it there, but we put almost 16 gallons in there. So there is about 2.5 gallons of 93 still in here. So either way, I'm gonna go get an alignment for this thing tomorrow. So we'll end up burning off some more, topping up again with E, and then we'll be higher ethanol content for sure. All right, guys, so that's pretty much the process. I just loaded up another tune and I have to go through that entire tank of fuel. So I want to get these videos out for you guys a little bit quicker. There's so much stuff going on in the shop, and I want to get back on track of trying to post as daily as possible. So it's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep them a little bit shorter unless there's like a huge install video. We do have a bunch of stuff coming for this. We've got our buddy Matt that's going to be probably tuning this, it looks like. I also have a 2-bar map sensor that's going in this, and then we can tune it properly because the tune that's on it right now is just absolutely horrendous and it doesn't even have the proper map sensor in there. So we'll be getting that tuned as well. And tomorrow I'm going for an alignment in the Hellcat, and I've got some small things I want to do to it as well. We picked up the tint for the passenger window. Also have to figure out what we're gonna do with that differential over there. I gotta find out if we're shipping it off to get it rebuilt or if I have a spot that I trust to do it locally. So all sorts of stuff going on. So thanks for watching, guys. The Hellcat is back in commission. I gotta burn through that entire tank on our E70 tune is what we're calling it. So that way we get that out and then we can fill it back up, and we should be pretty close to E85 at that point. So pretty exciting stuff, and we are getting one step closer to being at the track. Also, we got some other stuff. We got our stage 2 kit coming for our chiller as well, and we're just gonna keep dialing things in, you guys. So thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up before you take off. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys on the next one.